Data Privacy Day started over 3 decades ago, long before Facebook and Twitter became the norm. But here at MUN, students tell me they're pretty careful in protecting their online information. The Heemstras will be offering daily tours of their bee farm all summer, and visitors are already swarming in to see what the buzz is about. As for when King's Mills is closing, well, that won't happen anytime too soon. They've just got in new stock, and they say they'll stay open until all the merchandise is sold. Back here in London, June teaches her laughter yoga class for free here at Cherry Hill Mall in the public library.
Tiffany, how exactly can a plane just go missing?
Well, Jesse, the reality of it is that large parts of the globe aren't actually under radar coverage. And this is even more so the case when you get in the middle of the ocean. The only way that the flights actually keep in contact with the ground is through radioing them via the transponder. In this case, the transponder was shut off.
Tiffany Pope joins us today to tell us more. Tiffany, what should we watch out for in today's speech?
Well, Ali, the throne speech may make reference to a potential free trade agreement between Canada and the European Union, which could be days or weeks away. Harper was also tweeting earlier about wanting to implement laws to protect the average Canadian consumer. It was a slippery, dangerous day at the women's ski slopestyle event. 2 Canadians crashed, but 2 more added to our medal count. The men's ice hockey tournament starts tomorrow, with 4 teams in action and Canada set to play Thursday. Josh Elliott has more on the story. Josh, how's Team Canada shaping up? Chad Pelly is a local writer, musician, and photographer, one who's actively involved in the St. John's art scene.
There's just so much happening here that it needs to be covered.
So when the Scope stopped printing in December, Pelly saw a need for a newspaper that would capture the spirit and talent of people here.
We're a big enough city that a paper like this can matter, but a small enough city that the word can get around really fast, you know, and I feel like all these shops and boutiques and restaurants are what give us the personality that we have.
Thanks to ad sales and a good network of friends, Pelly was able to get the paper off the ground quickly and still break even. He keeps 12 empty frames in his office that will house a year's worth of issues of The Overcast. But he hopes production will go well beyond 1 year.
Just that this is an absolute dream job for me. I don't know why my passion is to talk about the wonderful things that other people are doing and just get on a rooftop and shout about it.
The first issue of The Overcast hit newsstands this week, and I'm heading inside Have a Java Cafe to find out what people think about it.
So far, a lot of people are kind of looking at it like, what's this? Like, what is that? And we're saying, oh, it's like I guess the new Scope, you would say, or something. So, yeah, so a lot of people seem to be reading it, yeah, and picking it up and stuff like that.
I enjoy it. I find that there's a huge gap in, when I come here, I really enjoy reading little papers, and I miss the Scope. I really miss the Scope. So it looks like this is doing a pretty good job at it.
Kyle Buston says a paper like The Overcast shines the light on artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs. But it's also a roadmap for newcomers to the city.
It's good for tourism here, so people, when they come to the city, can know we have something and know what's going on. It's instead of having to try to find a building, it's easier, or like a building in an event, it's easier to find those things when you have a paper like The Overcast or what the Scope was before.
And like the Scope, you can now find The Overcast at cafes, shops, and schools around town. Tiffany Pope, CBC News, St. John's. The National Energy Board approved energy transport company Enbridge's plan to reverse the flow and increase the capacity of the Line 9 pipeline that runs between Sarnia and Montreal. The NEB made their decision after holding public hearings in the fall.
Now, of course,
Hugh Morin of the Ontario Petroleum Institute made a case in support of the reversal. Since the line will now be servicing refineries in Ontario and Quebec with more Canadian oil, he says it will be better for the economy.
we felt that it was important for the industry to get involved to support that project so our companies could have market choice.
Line 9 originally shuttled oil eastward, but was reversed in the late 90s in response to market conditions.
It's an interesting exercise because really it's being reversed back to what it was originally set up for.
But it's not just a reversal. The pipeline will now carry an increased load of crude oil and bitumen, which is a sticky fuel distilled from crude. Chief Joe Muskokamon of the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation worries that the pipeline's aging infrastructure will not stand up to the increased load.
I'm not so certain that I trust a 40-year-old pipeline, particularly with bitumen crude.
Muskokamon submitted a case against the reversal, but his argument goes beyond environmental and safety concerns. It has to do with constitutional rights.
The National Energy Board goes out and holds hearings. We never signed a treaty with the National Energy Board. We signed it with the Crown. And therefore, we expect the dialogue to take place is between the government-to-government relationship that we have.
Muskokamon says if he had more say, he'd ask for a strengthening of the line. The NEB's decision to greenlight the reversal was made with certain conditions Enbridge must meet, such as managing cracks in the pipeline.
There were legitimate concerns raised. We fully expect Enbridge will meet their commitments and responsibilities with regard to pipeline safety.
But for Muskokamon, the political battle is far from being over.
They didn't actually address our argument. And so we still maintain the position that until we have that dialogue, it's illegal.
Legal or not, oil is already flowing eastward through the line from Sarnia to northwest of Hamilton. But with many concerns about the pipeline, not every phase of this reversal will flow smoothly. For Western Report, I'm Tiffany Pope.